entire loop is about 1 hour and 15 minutes. On our map we have 15 stops that we go to, and at the bottom of your map there's a timetable that lets you know the times the buses come through at each stop. So buses come every 30 minutes. Where we drop you off is where we pick you up from, so just keep an eye on your timetable. For the last bus of the day, keep an eye on your last column. That lets you know that we finish back at Matiatia at 7:10. That's to catch the 7:30 PM ferry. But if you guys are wanting to spend a little bit longer on the island, perhaps have dinner somewhere or go to one of the bars in the main village, public service buses and ferries back to Auckland have their own separate timetables, which operate till 12:30 in the morning. So the timetable that you see on our map, that's only for the hop-on, hop-off buses. Also as well, one more thing that can be a little bit confusing, if you guys look on your map you can see two lines, an orange and blue line. Just to explain that as we start from Matiatia, if you follow that orange line going all the way up to stop number 6, Onitangi, from there we head back on the blue line. It's all on the same bus, just letting you know the direction we're heading. So orange line forward, blue line back, easiest way to think of it. So right now we're in our main village on Aroa, so this is where you can find all the art galleries, cafes, restaurants, wine centre, souvenir shops, things like that. Because we are a small island, a lot of these shops close around 5 PM. So we normally recommend starting from here, have a look around and then catch the next bus that comes through. What happens often is people go wine tasting first, lose track of time, and then by the time they come back here all the shops are closed. So that's why we say starting from here is the best way to start your day. If you guys look on our left, you'll soon see the viewing platform overlooking Onodoa Beach. If you guys want to head down to the beach when we drop you off at stop number 1, there's a walk trail right next to us. It's only 3 minutes walk down there. So as you guys can see on our left, this is the beautiful Onodoa Beach.
Tästä Onetangista lukee, että siellä on a stunning beach with golden sand.
So shortly just coming up down here on our left, you'll soon see the Waiheke Wine Centre, which have all the wines that are made on the island. So if there's a particular wine that you want to try from a winery but don't have time to go there, you can just head to the Waiheke Wine Centre. And then shortly coming up down here on our right, you'll soon be able to see Island Gelato. If you want to grab some ice creams, I would recommend the salted caramel, really nice. So we're just pulling into stop number 1 right now. So again, we recommend starting from here so the shops close around 5. Check out the shops, grab an ice cream, head down to the beach, and then just catch the next bus that comes through. So keep an eye on your timetable, that lets you know when it comes. You guys can safely board off.
Jos nekin menee kiinni liialta, niin 101
So just to let you guys know, on our right across the road there, that bus stop is stop number 13 if you want to come back to Onodoa. Just remember that the shops close around 5, but for the bars and restaurants they are all open until late. So it takes about 55 minutes of transport to come back here. So also as well, just quickly as a heads up for those upstairs, since we are in a double-decker bus, we do slightly brush against trees. So if you hear a bit of a noise or a bit of a thump, don't worry at all. Just giving you guys a heads up just so you're not too surprised when it happens. So right now, if you guys are looking on your map, you might notice that you're coming along the narrowest part on the island. So on our far right in the distance there, you got Blackpool Beach. Shortly coming up on our left, you'll soon see Little Onodoa Beach. Between these two coastlines, it's only about 600 metres. So if you get bored of one beach, you can actually walk from one to another. So down here on our left, this is the beautiful Little Onodoa Beach, also known to the locals as Little O. So this beach here tends to be pretty popular with families. It's got a playground for the kids to play on, a couple of council-owned barbecues down here, so you can bring your own food to cook while enjoying the beach. But if you can't be bothered cooking though, you've got Little Onodoa takeaways where you can buy some fish and chips, or else you can go to Dragonfried and buy some wood-fried pizzas. So pizzas and fish and chips on the beach, as you can imagine, really awesome place to go to. Another awesome beach that we have is stop number 6, Onitangi, but I'll tell you guys more about that later on as we get closer. In the meantime, I'll tell you guys a little bit about Waiheke Island. So Waiheke, that translates from Māori to English as Cascading Waters. The reason for this name is when it was first discovered by the pre-Europeans, it was well known for its fresh water and waterfalls, so they decided to give it the name Waiheke, Cascading Waters. We've got about 9,000 permanent residents here on the island. Over 3,000 people own holiday homes, And during the summer season, the population can increase to about 30,000 people. We've got quite a few people come work on the vineyards because those grapes are all hand-picked. And of course during summer as well, tourism absolutely booms here on the island, so that's another reason for the big increase. But if you think 30,000 is a lot, when we have events like the Wine or Jazz Festival, there's estimated to be about 50,000 people on the island those days. So as you can imagine, gets pretty crowded. And then this area that we're coming through right now, this is one of our villages known as Surfdale. So this is where most of the locals live because it's one of the cheapest places to buy a house here on the island, with the starting price being only $700,000. Average house price on the island is about $1.2 million, and the most expensive house is $36 million. So that's why we say 700,000 is one of the cheapest, and I know that is not cheap at all. So just a little story about how Surfdale got its name. When it was first created, the villagers didn't really know what to name their village. So what they did was they threw a bunch of random names inside a raffle drawer, and whatever came out of the raffle they had scored the village. So that's how Surfdale got its name, by being picked from a raffle. It's a little bit of an inside joke, because if you guys look on your right, you'll see Surfdale Beach. They can do everything except surf. As you guys see, no waves whatsoever. So there's a little bit of an inside joke among the locals. It's really shallow as well, so it's not even good for swimming. So shortly just coming up down here on our right, this is what we call the multicultural hub of the island. So on our far right there, we've got Stefano's Authentic Italian Pizzas, run by an Indian family. Then we've got the bakery, owned by a Cambodian family. Then we've got the Irish pub, which has salsa dancing Sundays. And then the French cafe, French restaurants, and the Miami Dairy. And this is all on Miami Street, so that's why we gave it that nickname, Multicultural Hub of the Island. This is where a lot of the locals come for lunches and stuff, because here on the island we don't have things like McDonald's, Burger King or KFC. We try to keep the island lifestyle going, and pretty much most of the locals are happy to keep it that way. If anyone is craving KFC, it's only a 35-minute ferry ride back to Auckland CBD, so it is really easy as well. So speaking of things that we don't have a water system. So if you look down here on our right, you'll see a green water tank in front of the house with a red roof. Pretty much all homes on the island have water tanks for collecting rainwater. That's for things like showers. So for that reason, you'll never hear a local complain about rain. Because during the summer season, when we don't have as much rainfall, we actually have to pay to fill our water tanks, which costs about $300. Sometimes got to fill them twice, so that can be $600 just on water. So that's why no one complains about rain here. And then on our right over there through our tree line, that's where you can find our high school. So we've also got 2 primary schools on the island as well. And if you're a university student, you just ferry across to Auckland. But if you study wine at our next stop number 2, you'll find Goldie Estate. That's owned by Auckland University. So it's mostly run by students and professors. So Goldie Estates, they are the first ever successful winery on the island. So they're the pioneers of winemaking here on Waiheke. Originally owned by the Goldwaters family. When they retired, they wanted to give the winery to their children, but they weren't really interested in winemaking, so they decided to donate it to Auckland University, and it's now estimated to be worth about $7 million. So shortly just coming up on our right, you'll soon see the entrance for Goldie's. So they got a nice Chardonnay there and a beautiful view overlooking Putiki Bay. So that's the entrance there for Goldie's. We're just pulling into stop number 2 right now. So if you want to start off with wine tasting, this is the first ever winery on our tour. So if you want to go a bit of a winery crawling, I guess, this is the first place to go. So this is stop number 2. So where we drop you off is where we pick you up from. So we'll just be waiting for this bus in front of us. Alright, cool. So welcome back to those who just joined us. So again, in case I haven't seen you today, I'm Ash. I'll be your guys' host for this loop. And our driver's T, she'll be driving us around beautiful Waiheke Island. So we just left stop number 2. Our next stop on the map is stop number 3, which I'll tell you guys more as we get closer. So if you guys look on our left and right here, this is Putiki Bay. So you guys can come at the time of day when the tide's actually going out. So as you guys can see, all these houseboats are sitting on mud right now. On our left here, in about an hour or so, this entire area will be mud as well. So it's really interesting to see. And then those houseboats that you see sitting on the mud, some of the people that live in those, some of them actually own a home on the island. So what they do is during the winter season they live in their homes, but during summer, when we have a lot of people coming to the island, they go live in their houseboats and rent out their homes for like $1,000 or $2,000 a week. So they got their summers really well planned. And that's because we don't really have things like motels or hotels here on the island. It's more backpackers, lodges and bed and breakfast accommodations. So that works out really well for them during the summers. So if you guys are looking on our map, you'll see that our next stop is stop number 3 for Ostend. So this is what we call our local village for the locals for everyday life. So here you can find things like pharmacy, medical centre, supermarket, local council, things like that. If people do hop off at stop number 3 though, it's usually for the seafood market to try our world famous Tumatuku oysters. So if you guys want to try out those oysters, shortly coming up ahead on our right across the road, you'll soon see the seafood market. But just to let you guys know, most of the restaurants on the island do have those oysters if you want more of a restaurant setting. But these ones here at the seafood market tend to be bigger and a little bit cheaper as well. So on our right, you've got Countdown Only Supermarket on the island, and then across the road there are a couple of boutique stores there. So we're just pulling into stop number 3 for Ostend. For the Ostend markets that are happening today, they close around 1 PM, so some of the shops would be closing up at this time of day. So this is stop number 3 for Ostend. So we just left stop number 3. So if you guys want to come back here later, on our right across the road there, that bus stop is stop number 11 if you want to come back to Ostend. So shortly just coming up on our left over here, this is the industrial area of the island. So this is where everyone comes to get things fixed if they need to. So you got things like plumbers, electricians, painters, mechanics, things like that. So it means you don't have to go all the way to Auckland for running those errands. So it's handy for the locals that live here. And then shortly coming up on our left, that big shed there, that's the recycling centre. So that's where we sort through all the rubbish and then send it back to Auckland on barge. That's because we don't have rubbish dumping on the island, so we try to keep it as clean, green and eco-friendly as possible. So again, just make sure you find a seat as quickly as possible.
Siis toi laivalippu oli vuoden voimassa, 2019 vuoteen asti, että... No niin, vähän voidaan jälleen vielä useammaksi päivää.
So out on our far right, you'll soon be able to see Anzac Bay. That's named after those who served in World War I. So if you guys are looking on your map, you'll see that our next stop is stop number 4 for Whinyard Valley. So if you guys are interested in wine tastings, this is one of the best places to go to. Since as you can see on your map, all the wineries are clustered together, so they're all about a 5-10 minute walk from each other. So you got Waiheke, known for their outdoor activities. They got things like archery, claybird shooting, giant chess. They also have their own craft fairs there as well, which are really nice. Also, stop number 4, you've got Stony Ridge, one of our most well-known wineries on the island. We have any celebrities that come to New Zealand, Auckland, and they're interested in wine tastings. That's the place they tend to go to. They actually have a wall of fame that shows all the celebrities that have gone there. And then you've got Tumotu, known for their traditional reds and scenery. But if you also look on your map, you can see a green walk trail between Stony Ridge, Obsidian and Casita Miro. Just to let you guys know, that walk from stop number 4 to Obsidian and Miro is about a 20, maybe 25 minute walk. So do keep that in mind if you are going to those 2 wineries I just mentioned. So we're very shortly coming into stop number 4. So again, this is for Waiheke, Stony Ridge and Tumotu. So if you want to do wine tasting, this is the best place to go. So again, I'll let you guys know when we're there and when it's safe to board off. So we're just pulling into stop number 4 right now. So again, I'll let you guys know when it's safe to board off, just so you don't hurt yourself. So this is stop number 4. Again, I'm Ash, I'll be your host for this loop. Just quickly to let you guys know, on our right across the road there, that bus stop is stop number 8, if you want to come back to these wineries. Our next stop coming up is stop number 5 for Tantalus Estate in the museum. So the museum's open today from 12 PM to 4 PM, so it's definitely worth checking out the history of the island, how it's changed over the years. Especially the before and after pictures. It's amazing to see how it's changed. Once you're done with the museum, on your left at the top of the hill there, you'll see the beautiful winery Tantalus Estate. If you're someone who prefers a beer over wine, they have some really nice craft beers here. I'd recommend trying out the Pilsner, really, really nice. 2 o'clock.
Tässä on 2 pysäkkiä vielä. Seuraavalle meistä. Joo. Tuollakin hevosia. Missä on hevosia?
So just on our right across the road here, this is the golf course on the island, so this is only $20 per person. That's because it's only 9 holes, so most people usually go 2 rounds for the normal 18. So if you guys are wanting to try out golfing, just coming up shortly down here on our right, that's the golf club down there. And then on our right, in the distance over that hill, that's where you can find our main sports ground. So that's where we have our games and tournaments for things like rugby, football and hockey. So we have teams that come from around the Auckland regions for our local teams, and that's where the games are held. And then on our right, up there on the hill behind that tree line, that's where you can find EcoZip. So if you are wanting to use the zip line, you do have to call them and make a booking, and they'll have a white van that'll pick you up from Tiatia Ferry or from Onaroa Village. So if you guys are looking for a fun activity, definitely recommend the EcoZip. You get to go on 3 zip lines, do a guided walk through a forest, and they also provide commentary as they drive you around the island as well. It takes about 2.5 hours, so it's sort of something that you do for another day. And then shortly coming up ahead, straight in front of us there, on the hills, you guys can see some vineyards. So the vineyard coming up shortly down here on our left, this is owned by Stony Ridge. So its location is really good because it's on a hill when the grapes are in season. It means they're protected from northerly winds which allow the grapes to grow better. So Stony Ridge is also where you can buy one of the most expensive wines on the island. A bottle of La Rose can cost up to as high as $300 per bottle. So if you guys want to try out that, that's back at Stony Ridge, stop number 8. But our next stop that we're heading to right now is stop number 6 for Onitangi. So this is for one of the most beautiful beaches on the island. We got 2 bars and restaurants right across the road from the beach as well. So if you guys want somewhere to eat today, I'd probably recommend stop number 6 as the best place to go to. They have really nice food at a good price and good portion sizes as well. But even if you guys aren't quite yet hungry, you can maybe just grab a coffee or an ice cream, have a nice walk along the beach and enjoy the sun, and then just catch the next bus that comes through. So straight ahead in front of us there, you guys get a glimpse of Onitangi Beach. As we get closer, even more beautiful. So we're about 4 or 5 minutes away from stop number 6. So I just ask that you guys just please remain seated until I let you guys know we are there at the stop and it's safe to board off. So 4 or 5 minutes away. So just to let you guys know as well, stop number 6, Onitangi, is the furthest point on our tour. So what you guys can do is just start from here and then work your way going back. Because again, we definitely don't recommend doing the whole loop and then deciding what to do. Since that's 2.5 hours on a bus, which I'm sure doesn't sound appealing at all. So best way to maximise your time on the island is just go to as many stops as possible, have a look around and then catch the next bus that comes through.
Niin. Maamiesseurantalo. Voi että. Aika söpöinen paikka. Jotenkin tuntuu, että tää on taas niitä paikkoja, missä ei tapahdu.
So just again, we're about 3-4 minutes away from stop number 6. Our bus stop is around the corner. So again, I'll let you know when we're there, so just remain seated until then. So in front of us, this is the beautiful Onitangi Beach. So it's about 1.8 kilometers long. Every year in March, we have horse and tractor races and the fundraising events, which the locals really look forward to. So it starts on the right-hand side of the beach there and goes all the way to the other end. Down here on our left on the corner is Charlie Farley's, one of our restaurants. And then down the road we have another restaurant called Boathouse. So both places really good to go to. Down here on our left you guys can see some beach apartments for accommodation. If you want to buy one of these beach apartments, they cost around $3 to $4 million each. So on our left here you've got Boathouse. So we are almost at stop number 6. So just remember where we drop you off is where we pick you up from. So to continue the tour, just be waiting down here at this bus stop. Keep an eye on your timetable. This is the furthest point on our tour, so you might as well just start from here and then work your way going back. So watch your step and mind ahead as you make your way down. Thank you. We're driving us around the beautiful island. So right now we just left stop number 6 for Onitangi. So we were on the orange line, now we're heading back on the blue line. So we're just coming back exactly where we just came from. So you guys would have seen and heard all the points of interest on the way here. So what I'll do now is just come along, see what everyone's plan is, answer any questions that you guys might have, and I'll start giving commentary again as we head up to stop number 9, the Batch Winery, once we start seeing things that we haven't yet seen. But just for recommendations so that you guys know what there is to see and do at our next stop, stop number 7, that's called the Museum of Waiheke, which has all the history of the island. It's amazing to see how it's changed over the years. It has some examples of what homes used to look like from around 80 years ago, so definitely worth checking out. And the before and after pictures, again, really something to see. Also, if you're here more for wine tastings, I recommend stop number 8. Stony Ridge and Tamutu has some really nice wines there. But if you guys are here more for an overall experience and seeing some beautiful scenery, stop number 9 for the Batch Winery is definitely a must-see on your trip today. That's because it's the highest winery on the island, so you almost get a 360-degree view, so you can see the beautiful landscape of the island, see Auckland Sky City and Tower from up there, and on a clear sunny day see the Coromandel Peninsula. So for photos, number 9, definitely a must-see. But if you're interested in stop number 7 or 8, it is a good idea to do stops in order, because if you go to stop number 9, it's just really hard to come back these ways. It just kind of wastes a little bit of time. So that's why we say to maximize time, just do stops in order. So I'll come along now, check what you guys want to do, help out with any questions, and give commentary as we head up to number 9.
That's the one for the good views.
Yeah.
You're saying if you want to see the wineries, this is the number 1. This is this one. But it is, but you said the one at number 8 is good.
Whatever you want. Bang your feet when you want.
This one's more history, isn't it? I think number 7 is the, we're coming up to number.
So this is for the museum. For Tantalus, they will have a private function later on. So for those who just joined us, I'm Ash. I'll be your guys' host for this loop, and our driver's T. She'll be driving us around the island. So at the moment we're just coming back where we came from earlier, so I'll start giving commentary again once we start seeing things that we haven't yet seen, which will be very shortly. So for now, I'll just let you guys relax, chat amongst yourselves. Where you would like to head to next for your next stop? Do you know where you'd like to head to next for the next stop? Number 9 for photos. Number 9.
I'm doing this. I'm just taking a movie of most of this trip, and then I'll do
Back to the ferry.
Yeah.
Yep. Sweet. Shortly just coming up on our rides through the trees here, you guys can see the Derby racetrack. So if you guys don't know what Derby racing is, it's where cars can race around and hit into each other. Once a year we have proper demolition derby where all the cars can smash into each other and the last car's the winner. So as you can imagine with the locals are really popular. And then straight ahead in front of us on the corner is Rongahoa Estate, stop number 10. We come back here after stop number 9. So just again as a reminder for those upstairs, since we are in a double-decker bus, we do slightly brush against trees sometimes. So if you hear a bit of a noise or a bit of a thump, don't worry at all. I'm just giving you guys a heads up so you're not too surprised when it happens. So again, stop number 9, the Batch Winery, is definitely a must-see on our trip today. That's because it's the highest winery on the island, so you almost get a 360-degree view. So you can see the beautiful landscape of the island, see Auckland Sky City and Tower from up there, and on a clear sunny day see the Coromandel Peninsula as well. So for photos, number 9, definitely a must-see. They've got a restaurant up there as well if you want to grab some food. And then for their wines, they focus more on rosé and sparkling. But even if you're not a wine person, you can maybe just grab a coffee or a cold drink, grab some photos and enjoy the views, and then just catch the next bus that comes through in 30 minutes. So shortly just coming up this road down here on our right, that takes you down to the camping ground of the island, which is pretty popular with university students. During their holidays they'll come here for camping. And then the name of this area that we're coming through right now, so just as a quick heads up, I'm not swearing, this area is known as Whakaniwha Regional Park, and that translates from Māori to English as shade your eyes from the setting sun. And you can normally see the sunset on the island around 8:15. So there's a lot of good nature bushwalks in this area as well. If you want to take a walk down to the Cascades, it's about a 20-minute walk. But be careful because the walk tracks are quite gravelly, so it is advised that you have proper walking shoes if you do want to go down there. So we'll be at stop number 9, the Batch Winery, in about 4 minutes or so. So for now, just let you guys relax and enjoy the scenery and chat amongst yourselves. And then I'll get back to you as we come into the Batch. So we're very shortly coming into stop number 9 for the Batch Winery. So for anyone heading here, I just ask that you guys remain seated. I'll let you guys know when it's safe to board off. So you'll soon see why we call it a must-see on our trip. If you look up to our far left over here, these are the types of views that you get from the Batch. And then if you walk through the beach behind it, I'd recommend taking a photo on the hill by the big tree. You get some awesome photos from there. And then when we turn the bus around as well, you get some pretty cool views as well. So just remain seated for now, but just to let you guys know, when you are waiting for the next bus, just be waiting down here on our left on the footpath, just to let people safely use these roads. So this is stop number 9, so you guys can safely board off. Alright, so welcome back to those who just joined us. Again, in case I haven't seen you today, I'm Ash, I'll be your guys host for this loop, and our driver's team. Hello. So right now we're just leaving stop number 9 for the Batch Winery, so our next stop on the map is stop number 10 for Rongahoa Estate. They close around 3 p.m, so do keep that in mind. Stay on for their olive oil. I'll tell you guys more about them as we get closer. In the meantime, I'm just going to let you guys relax, chat amongst yourselves and enjoy the scenery. And I'm going to come double check where everyone's heading to for their stop numbers, just so that we know where everyone's heading to.
Or does it mark their probably? So, which station is our next?
Well, depends if you want to stop on that beach or not.
Could have a full cover.
Yeah. Okay, so cable A. They're open. 5 p.m. we're open, so that's okay. So we want to get off that for 13.
Up front know where you want to get to?
13.
13?
Yeah. Yourself?
So our next stop coming up is stop number 10 for Rongahoa Estate. So they're well known for their olive oil. They've actually won international awards, and it's even been used by Jamie Oliver. If you go on one of their tours when the olives in season, they show you the whole process of how they make their olive oil, which is pretty cool to see. So again, they close around 3. So this is stop number 10 for Rongahoa Estate.
Looking at all of the
So just coming up straight ahead in front of us, slightly to our right, that big hill in the distance, that's our local quarry, so that's where we get all the materials used for building our local roads here on the island. So anything we need can basically be found here except for electricity. you guys are looking on your map, but you'll notice that we're just coming back where we came from earlier today. So at the moment we're heading back towards Ostend, our local village, not to be confused with Onaroa, our touristy village. So again, most people go to Ostend for the seafood market to try world famous Tumatuku oysters. Or if they're staying on the island for a couple of days, they go there for Countdown, the supermarket, maybe buy some picnic foods for the beach. So this area will look pretty familiar. Out on your far left again, you guys can see Anzac Bay. That's named after those who served in World War I. And then we'll shortly be passing back through the industrial area of the island. And then we'll be at stop number 11 for Ostend. So we're just coming back into Ostend now. So if you guys look on your right on the corner here, you guys can see some trees that have been sculpted into artwork. So we're just pulling into stop number 11 for Ostend. So this is stop 11 for Ostend. So we're just coming back through Ostend at the moment. So down here on our left we've got the pharmacy, medical centre and St John's ambulance. So here on the island we don't actually have a hospital. So So shortly just coming up on our left again, you'll soon see Putiki Bay. So as you guys can see, the tide's pretty much completely out at the moment. So our next stop on the map, stop number 12 for Goldie Estate. So that's the winery that's owned by Auckland University, so mostly run by students and professors. So it seems like no one's hopping off at stop number 12, so we're just going there for pickups. So if no one's there waiting for us, we'll skip straight through. So down here on our left, if you follow the road all the way to the end, it takes you to our other ferry terminal, Sealink. So you guys would have came here on the Fuller's passenger ferry. Sealink is how we bring over cars and large freights over from Auckland. So to bring your car across costs about $160. So it's kind of easier just to use car rentals here on the island. Only $89 for the day. So just coming back through Surfdale at the moment. So again, this is where most of the locals live, so it's one of the cheapest places to buy a house. Starting price being around 700,000. So our next stops on the map are stop number 13 for our main village Onodoa, and then stop 14 for Mudbrick, then stop 15 for Cable Bay, and then after that back down to Matiatia for you guys to catch the ferry back to Auckland. If you are heading back to Auckland, you guys will be catching the 3 o'clock ferry. So we'll be at stop 13 in about 3 minutes, so I'll let you guys know when we're there, when it's safe to board off. So just coming up on our right again, you've got Little Onodoa Beach, where you can buy some fish and chips or pizza while enjoying the beach. It's only about a 10-minute walk from stop number 13. And then shortly coming up ahead straight in front of us, you'll soon see a church. So a little interesting fact about that church there, it's actually shared by 2 religions. So in the mornings used by Catholics, in the afternoons used by Anglicans. So not something that you come across too often. So we're back in our main village Onodoa, so we're just very shortly pulling into stop number 13.
Where?
So that's stop number 13 for our main village Onodoa. So you guys can safely board off, watch your step and mind your head. So we're just coming back to our main village Onodoa at the moment, so shortly just coming up on our right, you'll see the viewing platform again overlooking Onodoa Beach. So our next stops on the map are stop number 14 for Mudbrick, and then stop 15 for Cable Bay, and then after that back down to Matiatia. So we'll be at stop 14 in about 4 or 5 minutes, so I'll tell you guys more about it as we get closer. just right now we're heading to stop number 14 for Mudbrick. So Mudbrick's been featured in Lonely Planet's top 10 must-see places in Auckland. Also been voted the most romantic place on Waiheke Island. There's over 150 weddings there every year, and if you are wanting to get married at Mudbrick, it's about a 2-year waiting list. So as you can imagine, really popular, so that's where we're going to right now. On the way there, you guys will see Cable Bay, that's stop number 15. We come back there after stop number 14. So in front of us down here on our right on the corner, that's stop number 15 Cable Bay. We come back here after stop 14. To our far right there, you guys can see a better view of Cable Bay. They've got beanbags out on their lawn so you can relax in those. In front of us here, these are the types of views that you get from Mudbrick and Cable Bay. You guys can just see Auckland Sky City and Tower in the distance. So for anyone heading to Mudbrick, just ask that you guys remain seated. We drop you guys off at the top of the driveway right next to the winery, so it saves you a bit of a walk as well. So once we get to the top of this driveway, we just need to turn the bus and then also reverse the bus as well. So just remain seated if you are heading here. So this is stop 14 for Mudbrick, so if anyone's
now we want to go
and you're heading back to catch the ferry. Yep, back to catch the ferry. No. Cable Bay. No. down here on our left again. In the distance you can see Gable Bay. So as you guys can see, really nice place to relax on beanbags, enjoy food, wine and scenery. Normally me and my mates go down there, grab a couple of pizzas and drinks and relax for a few hours. So it's a really nice place to go to. We'll be there in about 1 minute. Doesn't seem like anyone's hopping off at stop number 15, so we're just going there for pickups. If no one's there waiting for us, we'll skip straight back through down to Matiatia, where you guys catch the 3 o'clock ferry. So on our left here, this is Cable Bay, so just coming here for pickups. Yeah, those, and then just get back to you as we come into the wharf.
We're planning to stay on. Is that okay?
Yeah, the next switch starts in about 10 minutes, so it's not a long wait.
Oh, okay.
It gets pretty stuffy in the bus stop, and you can't turn the bus off.
Okay.
So probably a good idea to wait outside. And then we got to swap hosts anyway. So yeah, you can just catch this bus again. It'll be in about 10 minutes.
Okay, great.
So,
So just in case anyone's wondering what all the cars down here on our right are for, we've got over 1,000 people who commute from Waiheke Island to Auckland every day for work. So this is just where they park their cars, and then in front of us got another parking lot as well. So we are almost at our drop-off point for Matiatia. So just want to thank you guys for travelling with Explorer Hop On today. Hope you guys had an awesome time. Just ask that you guys check to make sure that you have all your belongings. Make sure you got phones, wallets, keys, things like that. And for those of you who are continuing on doing another loop, the next tour will be starting at 2:50 or a little bit after that, depending what time the ferry comes.